Greatness striking a pose at historic Saratoga Racecourse on a picture-perfect Travers Eve, Friday, day number 31 of 40. Hope you're settled in. We say it with a good bit of modesty. This is one of the best parts of the day. It is indeed Saratoga Insider Richard Migliore, Jason Blewitt. American Pharoah made his appearance this morning, and this was the likes of which people covering the game 30, 40, 50 years had never seen.
Well, I've been in the game 37 years, and I felt like a 10-year-old kid that was a fan, couldn't wait to get to the racetrack. I'm in the winner's circle. The atmosphere was electric. The people were responding, and people came out in droves, well over 15,000 on the front side alone, to get a glimpse of this champion just galloping. It was so much fun to be here. I've been here since 6 o'clock this morning, but you know what? I'm still on a high from what took place this morning.
He's captured the hearts and imagination of the entire country. He is America's horse, the people's champion, and he was on display in full force, rippling with muscle. Exercise rider George Alvarez was aboard as the American Pharoah, Racing's 12th Triple Crown champion, left the barn at a little after 8 a.m. under the watchful eye of trainer Bob Baffert. And here he is, same old American Pharoah, smooth as silk and effortless, covering the main track.
He's like a machine. It's just like pistons. He never misses a beat. He keeps going forward. He seems to really enjoy the adulation, Jason. When people started cheering when he went to stand out, the pony Smokey started to get upset, and he was looking at him like, what's the problem, dude? This is for us. I'm a rock star, and he knows he's a rock star.
He's racing's legend. It remains to be seen where the final chapter will take us regarding the American Pharoah story. It began just a little over 2 years ago at the 2013 yearling sales across the street at Fasig-Tipton, a $300,000 buyback for owner Ahmed Zayed, and the rest, as they say, history. Two-year-old champion from 2014, and he will strut his stuff in front of America's oldest sporting venue here Saturday in front of a crowd of 50,000 people. And I love the GoPro shots that exercise rider George Alvarez gave us. I mean, when equipped, and you could see this horse, what it was like to gallop around this spacious main track.
Yeah, well, we're going to get a look at that, and I'm going to point something out when we watch that. Really interesting stuff.
Good stuff. Now, Bob Baffert, of course, the Hall of Fame trainer enshrined across the street, he was in town, and he had plenty to say after American Pharoah galloped.
I was pretty overwhelmed by everybody and the fans. It was pretty incredible. I know he has there's a lot of people. He's got a big backing, and he has a lot of fans, but it just keeps growing and growing and growing. So every time I see that, I feel like it puts more pressure on me. I'm like his guardian. And so, I think it's great. I think a lot of kids, younger kids, will remember this. I know my little son Bodie, he couldn't believe, he was excited. He signed an autograph. He was very excited today. So, it's one of those things where this is what you want to see in horse racing. I think horse racing, we needed a boost. We have some really great horses that run, and they put out big performances, but sometimes a lot of people aren't there to see them. So I think it's unique that everybody's here actually watching this horse. They watch him through the Derby, the Preakness, Belmont, the Haskell. So, a lot of fans have been able to really follow this horse and latch on to him. That's what makes him such a great horse, that he's been able to put a big performance and back it with another performance. I mean, I've had a lot of good horses that on certain days, they couldn't get beat. Nobody would have beat him that day. But I couldn't get that many, you couldn't get that many big performances where he brings it on a short period. On short rest, he can just come back and keep doing it. And I think that's what really has made him so popular.
Poetry in motion. It really is drama in motion watching American Pharoah strut his stuff. And it's just, there's something that is completely enrapturing about America being enthralled with the horse who is Mother Nature's masterpiece.
I think people really appreciate something as rare and as beautiful as American Pharoah is. And Bob Baffert said two things that really struck a chord with me. One, that he's his guardian. He feels responsible for him. And he is. And he takes that responsibility very seriously. And that's why he waited so long to make the decision about coming to Saratoga. And then the other thing is just how American Pharoah actually thrives on the work. He doesn't seem seem to regress from this campaign or the workouts or the racing. He just gets better. And this is some great stuff here. This is what George Alvarez gets to see on a daily basis. Wouldn't you like to be up on him?
I'd work for free. I mean, seriously, I can't even imagine what it's like being on a thoroughbred of American Pharoah's stature and having that power beneath you. Multiple gears, and you can hear the crowd just going nuts. Round of applause down the stretch here at Saratoga Racecourse. And what did you want to point out regarding the GoPro shots?
Well, we're not going to show the whole thing, but I think people should go to YouTube, go to the NYRA website, watch the GoPro shot. And when he goes to pull up, now you can see his ears here, right? And that's the view that George Alvarez has. But when he goes to pull him up, you can hear him say, "Whoa, big horse, whoa, big horse." And he starts to pull him up. Well, he bows his head so much that his head disappears from the GoPro shot. And it's just a great illustration of how a horse flexes and uses himself when he's going faster and when he's being eased down. This is as close as you're going to get, as close as I'm going to get, anybody is going to get other than Victor Espinoza and George Alvarez to watch this horse. I mean, like being on him.
And this is towards the end of his gallop, in fact, as he is past the finish line, and George Alvarez will kind of take a strong hold of the reins and start to ease up on this 2-year-old champion. Again, drama in motion, just the muscle definition on this horse. I've never seen a thoroughbred with the constitution and physical makeup of American Pharoah.
He's kind of a throwback to those old-time thoroughbreds where they're more sinewy, a little bit longer, a little bit leaner, but the hind end and the defined muscle tone on his hind quarters is what gives him that propulsion, which enables him to push off and get so much ground. He covers it so effortlessly. He's really beautiful to watch.
He'll face 9 in his Saratoga debut. We are likely to go with a field of 10 in tomorrow's 146th running of the Travers. Wagering open today. Texas Red was taking plenty of money with just about 10,000 in the win pool. We look forward to seeing American Pharoah strut his stuff in front of 50,000 at America's oldest sporting venue tomorrow afternoon. How about the red jacket ceremony? This was a day and a morning basically devoted to American racing royalty. It began a little after 8 a.m. when American Pharoah, the Triple Crown champion, left the barn. It continued at the 3rd annual red jacket ceremony, in which we paid tribute to Ogden Mills Phipps and Mary Lou Whitney.
Yeah, well, we saw equine royalty and greatness. Well, this is racing and royalty and greatness. Two people that have done so much for the thoroughbred racing industry. Obviously, Denny Phipps, really a visionary, somebody who has led the Jockey Club into the 21st century. So many innovations. And then Mary Lou Whitney, who's not only done so much for racing and the backstretch workers, but the city of Saratoga. Two people so deserving of this honor.
Time never stops, but in a way it does feel like it slows down here in the foothills of the Adirondack Mountains each and every summer. No place like Saratoga Racecourse, and as Big said, congratulations to the latest Walk of Fame inductees with the red jacket ceremony. Little tough to turn the page over the excitement thus far regarding Saratoga Insider, but let's see what happens here. Maggie Wolfendale, I believe, taking part in a Travers preview show with one of the local news stations. Thoroughbred racing round the clock, especially this weekend. Let's see what happened, though, on Travers Eve. We'll get you back to the action on New York Bred Showcase Day. It'll be Friday Super 6 Stakes with Larry Colmus, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 10.
Furlong, Sudden Surprise, and manipulated. Dr. Shane is third. Sudden Surprise kicks away. Sudden Surprise kicks away by 2 past the 16th pole, and then it's manipulated, followed by Dr. Shane. Sudden Surprise wins the funny side. And then it was manipulated. Dr. Shane and Guaranteed. Now draws up alongside, and Temperament Patty and JC Shooting Star swings up on the far outside, full of run, and they're into the stretch. And here comes JC Shooting Star to the outside of Conquest Superstep, and these two will fight it out in the final furlong. Conquest Superstep and JC Shooting Star, and they're stride for stride at the 16th pole. They'll decide the Fleet Indian. Conquest Superstep, JC Shooting Star. These two head and head, nose to nose. JC Shooting Star won it over Conquest Superstep, then Temperament Patty and Freudian. And then it's Ben's Girl, Lemon Liqueur. And on the outside, Backwood Bay, a 45 1/2 mile. They're into the stretch. And She's Already has opened up here. She's Already pulls away to lead by 3. Super Surprise is next. And then comes Ben's Girl and Lemon Liqueur past the 16th pole. And She's Already is going to come home to another strong win. She's already eased up by 3 in the end over Super Surprise, then Lemon Liqueur and Ben's Girl. As they come to the top of the stretch, not a cat but a llama. King Creasa, Lubash is going to swing outside of them. Orino is fourth in the final furlong. Here's King Creasa. King Creasa up to grab the lead. Lubash is coming, and the New York bred Titans fight it out with not a cat but a llama. Battling on from the inside. Lubash, King Creasa, Lubash. Lubash takes the lead. Lubash wins the West Point. King Creasa was second. Not a cat but a llama was third. Then Orino as Lady Creasa gives way on the inside. And here comes Selenite into the mix. And Old Harbor's trying to find some running room, squeezing through traffic. And here comes the Teacups on the far outside. And Discreet Mark is beaten here. Here comes Old Harbor up the rail. And on the outside, the Teacups. And the Teacups gets up to win the Yano. And then it was Old Harbor, Selenite, and Swear By It. And then it's Fleeting and Good Luck Gus, and they're into the stretch. And it's Force in front. Force on the outside, the leader. One-sided, now battling on from the rail. One-sided in Force. Bellamy Way is coming up to them. Here's Good Luck Gus. And Good Luck Gus is gaining now. It is one-sided. Good Luck Gus. Force back to third. Bellamy Way on the outside. Good Luck Gus getting up. Good Luck Gus. Luis Saez wins 3 in a row. And then it was one-sided. Bellamy Way.
27 wins at the meet for Luis Saez, a $555 Saez pick 3 that ended in the Albany in a furious rally from Good Luck Gus.
He is just riding so well, particularly on the turf, but you could see his confidence level has risen as well. And when a jockey's riding confident, they go to another level. We've seen it with Irad. We've seen it with a lot of guys. Conversely, Javier got in a little bit of a drought, and he broke out of it today. I think you'll see him, all his skills on display tomorrow.
We'll have plenty of opportunity with that 13-race card on Travers Day that kicks off at 11:45 a.m. You talk about a rider's confidence, Mig. How confident is Junior Alvarado riding the 8-year-old Lubash, who posted a popular win in today's West Point?
Yeah, he gave the horse a perfect trip, saved every inch of ground before coming out into the stretch. You can tell he has immense confidence in Lubash, and why not? Lubash responds so well to Junior Alvarado, and this is just a fun division. These New York breds, Lubash, King Creasa, I mean, it's just a great, hard-knocking group of horses that show up every single time.
Combined 70 races between the pair today in the West Point. They'll live the fight another day. We'll look forward to them downstate at Belmont Park, knocking heads on the lush green courses during the fall championship season. But Luis Saez, nice hat trick on the afternoon. Irad Ortiz had a quiet Friday.
Yeah, quiet for him, but you know he'll break out. That won't last. And I still think he's got a grip, a death grip on the jockey race. 9
cards remain. Todd Pletcher was able to tighten it up by 1 today. He did win that race, and now it's 2. Pletcher walked away with the victory with sudden surprise on the funny side.
Trainer's race is far from over. This is going to go down to the wire.
Tap's got 8 in tomorrow. Todd Pletcher, that is. He's in 8 races. Chad Brown is in 6 races. And what a late double flourish. A Dunkin' Donuts late double with Michael Dove.
Michael Dove, a man for all seasons, wins 365 days out of the year. He's starting to edge away in a very contentious owner's race.
6 Grade 1s, a Triple Crown winner looking to join Whirlaway as the only Triple Crown champ and winner of the Travers. There he is. We will talk about the entire day here on Insider.
The new Parks Fall Festival will double purses for each of its 32 live racing days. What an opportunity for Pennsylvania breds. In an open maiden special, PA breds will run for over $100,000. So be there at Parks in the fall.
Hello, I'm Brian Sanfratello. Last year, we paid $33 million to PA breds in the form of breeder awards, owner bonuses, and restricted race purses. Our Equine Coalition Group is united in the pursuit of making sure that we receive every dollar we deserve. And that's why our Racehorse Development Fund has been constant in the past 4 years. Please go to our website at www.pabred.com or give me a call at 610-444-1050.
Fans are out in force. The party still rages on Travers Eve here at Saratoga Racecourse. The At the Post bar sounding pretty good with live music. And speaking of pretty good, how do you like these guarantees? 11:45 a.m. with the first post. We begin with that guaranteed $400K pick 5 in all grade 1 pick 6 worth at least $250,000. And that builds in like a perfect crescendo. Talk about catching the zeitgeist in the public imagination. The $1 million guaranteed pick 4 that will cash out in the 146th running of the Travers. Does it concern you? And it's Richard Migliore and Jason Blewitt with you here on Insider. Victor Espinoza does not have a prior mount on tomorrow's card before the big dance.
I think if it was any other horse but American Pharoah, it would be a concern. And personally, I wouldn't want to be in the jockey's room all day thinking about one race. I'd want to get into a flow, into a rhythm, and be able to be occupied. But American Pharoah is so push-button, so easy to ride. He's got natural speed. He's tractable. And Victor doesn't know how to lose on him.
Well, this will be his Travers debut. Victor Espinoza, same could be said for the Zayats who flew in today. They were on the backside. Their Twitter handles are worth a follow. They're great communicators and ambassadors of the game. And best of luck to the entire American Pharoah camp tomorrow afternoon. We do have to begin, however, with race number 6. That'll begin and kick off the Grade 1 procession. We've got a purse of $750K, one of racing's all-time greats. The unbeaten mare, Personal Ensign, has her namesake at 1 mile and a furlong. Stop Charging Maria loves it here at Saratoga.
She loves it here in Saratoga. She's got 4 victories in a second. She's in raging form. I don't see any reason why she can't repeat or even improve off of her Chuvy effort. I think she's going to take no end of beating.
Untappable, your 3-year-old filly champion for 2014 does not appear in 2015. The same filly. Can she turn the tables?
I think she can, and I think the Chuvy was truly a prep for her. I think that she needed something to get her to this point. I know that Steve Asmussen is very methodical in how he plans out horses' campaigns, and the ultimate goal is the Breeders' Cup distaff again.
Tell you, the job David Fox has done with the 2 sheer drama should go down as one of the greatest training jobs in the country for 2015. She has been better than ever at the age of 5.
Yeah, here winning the Delaware Park Handicap. She's cutting back to 1 mile and 1/8 from 1 mile and a quarter, and she's got enough speed to be involved. And off the 1 mile and a quarter, I think that's the race in a nutshell. I think she's going to be tough, but I still like Stop Charging Maria at Saratoga.
All right, for trainer Todd Pletcher, who's got quite a few Personal Ensign victories to his credit on his lifetime resume. Fillies and Mares once again in the Ballerina. It'll go as race 7. It's a grade 1. La Verdad, the speedy New York bred, has not won a grade 1. She will be favored tomorrow.
Well, I think she's going to be very tough. She's a different filly than last year. She had a little bit of a different kind of campaign, a little lighter on the front end, now building into it. She doesn't pull as much. She's not rank anymore. She kind of rates herself on the lead. I think she is capable of getting 7 furlongs.
Todd Pletcher sends out Dame Dorothy for celebrity chef owner Bobby Flay. Man, she's been so good. 7 for 9 lifetime.
Yeah, and the turn back in distance, and you know she's 4 for 4 at 7 furlongs now. You got to respect that. I still think she might have to have a little forward movement in the throttle to handle this group, but you definitely can't count her out, especially at a distance she prefers.
At a glance, and it's more than a glance with Mary Meadow, she underscores the job and the trainer Mark Hennig is. She's been better than ever at the age of 5.
She possesses a lot of natural speed, and she's going to be the one that's going to be the closest pursuer to La Verdad. A lot of the key to this race is when Joel Rosario chooses to attack and go after La Verdad. If it's too early, she could come up wanting. If it's too late, she doesn't catch La Verdad. He's in a tricky spot.
Kind of a neat little subplot with Artemis Agriterra having won the Ballerina a year ago. Do we get another New York bred following in the hoof prints? We'll see with La Verdad, and that might be the truth. Let's move on to the King's Bishop, the Naira.com 3-year-old King's Bishop. Holy Boss been sharp. You mentioned Steve Asmussen. Well, look at the job he's done with this runner.
He's done a tremendous job with this horse, and this horse won going 6.5 in the Amsterdam in racehorse time. I don't see the other 16th of a mile being a problem. He can work out the same kind of trip he did last time in the Amsterdam. He should be tough.
Maybe the race wild card is the 3 competitive edge as he gets back to a sprint after a 4th going long behind Pharoah in the Haskell.
I love horses off the on the turn back. I just think he set a legitimately fast pace against the champion, and turning back to 7/8, he should be involved early, and I know that Todd's got him ready. He kind of pointed for this. He did this with More Than Ready several years back.
Grand Billy coming up from Gulfstream Park. He's actually recorded a couple breezes right here at Saratoga, and his form way down south in Florida was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, only one bad race when he shipped out of Florida. All his Florida races are good. Why did he run so poorly? He got off slowly. Obviously, he's a horse that wants to be involved. Probably get no kickback in his face, but is he going to be able to do that with the likes of Holy Boss in there? It's going to be interesting.
7 furlong classic for the 3-year-old sprinters. The Naira.com King's Bishop will go as race number 8, and if I'm not mistaken, that'll jumpstart us into that $1 million guaranteed late pick 4. About a quick timeout. On the second half of the break, it's American Pharoah, a cast of 9, and everything else good on Travers Day 2015. Happy to be back on this live Travers Eve edition of Saratoga Insider on MSG+. Back to the action Saturday with the Travers Day undercard. Race number 9, the Priority 1 Jets Forgo, the Big Beast, looking to win his second Grade 1 at Saratoga.
The Big Beast loves Saratoga, narrowly beaten here in the Vanderbilt. Johnny Velasquez did drop his whip. I don't know if it cost him. I think he was running hard, but the Big Beast is just that. He's a big horse, and Johnny's got to work out a trip where you can get him in the clear. 2
Vosbergs, a Cigar Mile, a Belmont Sprint Championship. What else do you want from Private Zone? I want to see him win the Forgo. He's my favorite horse in training.
He's very cool. He leaves the gate like a scalded dog. He really bursts out of there, establishes his forward position. I think he's going to be very tough to beat because I don't see enough speed to keep him honest on the front end. And he's a horse that's very, very tough when he makes the lead.
Moving on to the Sword Dancer, moved from its traditional point midway through the Saratoga summer. It's now part of the festivities on Travers Day, and $1 million purse increase, or a $250,000 purse increase to $1 million, and you've got Flintshire coming overseas.
Interesting. Flintshire ran so good against Trev, one of the greatest race mares to grace the French turf, and I think he's got to be tough. He's just got to be able to handle the tight turns of the inner turf course.
If he does, he's going to win, and that may bode some problems for Twilight Eclipse, War Dancer, who put on a good show at Belmont in the Man of War.
Yeah, well, War Dancer's got speed, and he might be on the lead, but Twilight Eclipse stalked him and pounced the Man of War, had absolutely no chance, got a terrible ride in the United Nations. Twilight Eclipse is a horse, if he gets the right trip, can be heard of.
Synth, turf, dirt, long, short, on the lead, off the pace. It just doesn't matter with Red Rifles coming into the Sword Dancer off a very good victory in the Bowling Green.
Yeah, the performance of his career, got a great trip that day from Javier Castellano. Interesting that Javier Castellano, who's been riding Twilight Eclipse and Red Rifle, doesn't ride the race at all, and they both have new riders, but Todd Pletcher, he wins with all kinds of riders, and Red Rifle, also another horse in good form.
All right, Jose Ortiz will try his luck on that Son of Giants Causeway, and that builds into race number 11, the gem and marquee race of each and every summer at Saratoga, the Grade 1 Travers. American Pharoah, here he is taking the Belmont Stakes and becoming a Triple Crown champion. Post number 2, is that an issue at all with his high cruising speed?
No, he breaks running, he gets forward position, he basically makes his own trips. He's got speed, but he's tractable. It's his race to lose. He's the best horse. If he doesn't run his A race, that's the only way he loses. From what I saw from his gallop this morning, he should be fine. Keen Ice ran on for second here, but I think Kent DeZormo rode Keen Ice to be second, where Upstart was ridden in this race to try to win it. I think if you switch trips, maybe Upstart now has a race under his belt, might be a little stronger
Picking up the white-hot Irad Ortiz. Texas Red Frosted, they put on a good show. It was a heck of a battle down to the wire. The local prep for the Travers, the Jim Dandy. What is the feeling regarding who goes where off this effort? Does Texas Red improve, or does Frosted really pick it up off the Jim Dandy?
Well, you know, I really like the way Frosted's come up to the Travers. I think he's really improved, but Texas Red has been pointed for this. Masterful job by Keith DeZormo. These are your 2 most likely upsetters.
And no upset here. One of our favorites, Maggie Wolfendale, with her play on Travers Day.
Thanks, guys. Flying solo tonight as far as handicapping and Paddock Insider are concerned. Andy, we miss you. But for that matter, I'm going to give you 2 horses on this very big and deep Travers card. We'll start with the Sword Dancer. It's nice to have Flintshire here, it must be said. But another kind of foreign horse, although he has run here before, is the German-bred number 6, Messy, for Grand Motion. He hasn't run as fast, he hasn't faced as steep a competition as he's going to tomorrow, but his 2 wins have been very visually impressive, and every time that Johnny has been aboard, it's always seemed as though he saved something, and that's kind of also what I felt with this horse looking at him physically. I thought first time he didn't look that fit. Well, obviously there's a lot of talent in there, so he didn't have to be that fit. Next time, a little bit more. So I like the progression that Graham is bringing this horse along with, and I think he's ready for that big step up in class. And then we'll turn our attention to another European after the Travers, which will be sensational, I'm sure, with American Pharoah. We'll take a look at the English invader in here, and that is New Providence on the outside. And honestly, I just like this filly despite being a 3-year-old and facing older horses in the Boston Spa. She just looks phenomenal. She's been at our barn, staying there for Hugo Palmer, and I love the way that she's trained in the morning. Mile to 16th, stretching out for a European filly doesn't bother me that much, and the thing I like most about her is that she doesn't look like a European filly. So she's just very well muscled and very strong. So New Providence, we'll see if she can take down the elders in the Boston Spa. Guys, back to you.
Maggie, well prepped, plenty to say regarding Travers Day 2015 here at Saratoga Racecourse. Before we get out, want to wish American Pharoah a safe trip, and a safe trip to everybody, jockeys and horses competing here tomorrow afternoon.
And I want to thank the Zayat family and Bob Baffert for bringing him here and giving the best racing fans in the world an opportunity to see a great champion.
All right, tomorrow will be a day to remember at historic Saratoga Racecourse. We leave you with shots of the mighty Pharoah cruising around the main track at Saratoga Racecourse.